Hello.
Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody.
I was going to say that.
Well, you said hello.
I did. That's normally your thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
You forgot? I'll take care of it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
We always kick the air off, so that noise you just heard was the air kicking on.
Yeah.
So
we'll go kick it. Gonna kick it. Kick it like a kickball. First, top show, we want to tell you that if you'd watched last week, you were thinking that this was going to be Cameron from Drums and Drams and Matt Porter from ADHD Whiskey coming on here to play a game of What's in My Glass. Or now we're going to host since we are still dry right now. But the samples did not get to Matt in time. They're going to be there tomorrow, which helps no one. So we're going to postpone it, but not next week, 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now, will be ADHD and Drums and Drams battling out in What's My Glass. Because next week, and this is another audible, because I think we talked about doing Bourbon Bowl a week after the Super Bowl. We're actually going to be doing it again on Super Bowl Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time in the afternoon. We had to make a change on that as well. So instead of the week after, it's going to be back on Super Bowl Sunday, just like we've always done it in the past.
Yes.
So that'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Time next Sunday. So
the 12th.
The following Sunday will be the What's in My Glass.
The 19th.
Yes.
I just was on an emotional roller coaster for like the 1 minute and 30 seconds that I was gone. So I went upstairs to turn the air off, and when I came back down, Zoe has hurt her front paw, and so I was worried that she followed me upstairs. So when I found her downstairs, she was like weaving through the bourbons that were on the floor, and I was like, get over here, get out of there. She tried to like a cat sneak through them, and it was a Michter's 10 rye, and she bumped it, and it literally went, well, you can't see it, it went shoo, shoo, shoo.
Oh no.
And then it settled down. I was watching it. It's like one of those moments where a basketball is like circling the rim and you're like, is it not gonna? And it didn't, so that's great.
Sorry if that audio was a little hot. I remember I had to turn that thing up for a VO that we're doing and I forgot to turn it back down. So hopefully things sound better now. I was like, why is it so hot in the meters?
Wow, we're really bad at this today.
Well, that's what happens when you go dry. You know, there's nothing to.
If anything, we should have our wits more about us.
No.
Okay, Jose said it's better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully it was still intelligible audio.
Yikes. Okay, well, on with the show. Nope, he's still gonna.
The show must go on.
Yes,
there we go.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
What did I miss other than you telling everyone about the next 2 weeks of lives?
That's it.
Great.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no more hot mic.
I can't. This is our last week of dry.
That's right.
Excited.
And what a hell of a way to get back into it, right?
With the Bourbon Bowl.
With the Bourbon Bowl. So,
Oy.
We haven't picked our bottles. We talked about doing a draft tonight, but we didn't have time for us to pick our bottles, so we'll be doing that throughout the week.
This past week got a little wild. If you're a member of our Patreon community, you know that this past week on Friday night, we started the release of our Four Roses barrel pick. And just before anyone gets excited or anything, it has already sold out. But we were up until after 11 p.m. But it started going live at 5, and we were up until after 11, which isn't that late, but it is late when you started at 8 a.m.
Sure.
Managing that release because it was a lot. People really want the bottles, and that I totally understand it. But yeah, so we kind of Friday night activities got pushed into Saturday got pushed into Sunday, and then we didn't have time for our draft. So maybe we'll do it on like Instagram or something one night this week. That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
We'll see.
We have our first super chat of the evening. It comes from Joey Tony Bag of Donuts. He says, no bourbon yet. Next week, though. So tonight, it's Pisco, distilled from grapes, and Sprite. Cheers.
I think that's how you say it. And Sprite.
And Sprite.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, first super chat of the evening.
Oh, what am I doing? I don't know yet.
With the water. There we go.
I'm ready for some questions.
Yeah, so we went through and we pulled some questions from about the last week of comments on videos. So since the most activity was on our hunting video, I think most of them were from that video. There's a few others from other videos. But if you guys have any burning questions, you want to know,
they're not burning.
let us know. And
You might want to get that checked
there's a cream. There's a cream for that. And
Ew.
especially super chats, we will, because we can't see all questions, so some may go by and we might.
We'll
but
try.
Super chats will definitely answer. But
Yeah.
since there are none right now, I will go
Pull one up.
to the first one that we have, and hopefully this is readable. It looked a lot more readable before I put it on here, but this comment says, you mentioned bottle protectors for your suitcases. Oh, this is back on our Austin hunting video, actually. I'm curious about the rules of how much you can bring back in your suitcase. I'm assuming you have to check those bags. That is correct. What bottle protectors did you use?
It is true, unless you buy it, like if you're traveling internationally and you buy it at like one of the duty-free shops. Then you can put it in your carry-on.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you travel somewhere domestically,
Yeah, you got to check.
you gotta put it in your checked bag.
You can have up to 5 liters.
5 liters.
Is what they say. Now, don't ask me if they're really going in there and checking and adding that up. Okay, I've heard.
But we're not going to advise you against
we can
that.
only advise what the law says,
We're
which
rule
is
followers.
5 liters. If you had 6 in there,
Is anybody gonna know? Who's counting? I don't know.
we've used the. You've probably seen them. I'm sure I got one of those too. But
They're like bubble pouches.
when you order something from like pretty much any place, keg and bottle, shared pour.
Oh, yeah.
Those type of ones where most of the time you have to tear them or cut them to get them out.
But it's like a
And
plastic
it's not.
pouch.
Sometimes it's not super reusable because of that. But someone actually sent this to us years ago, and now we've forgotten who it was. But this is called the Vino bag. So it's for wine bottles. So if you're looking to put like, something weird shaped like a Blanton's in there, you might have a hard
If you
time.
happen to stumble across something strangely shaped like a Old Forester birthday bourbon, it's probably not going to fit in there.
No.
But your tall bottles.
Your tall bottles.
Yeah.
So you put it in like this.
You know,
You insert the bottle.
I can't wait for that to end up on Matt Madness.
And then you simply blow
Okay.
Until it's inflated.
That's
And then you
great.
plug it back up.
Uh-huh.
And then you take this, you fold it, you do this thing.
Wow, are we on QVC right now?
And then, Sarah, it's as easy as
3 easy payments of $9.99.
you roll it.
I actually don't know how much it costs.
And then, so you roll it.
Oh, Glenn and Kathy. That's who it was from.
Oh,
Gold Whiskey.
was it really?
When we take
Well,
things
great.
away from the other
Yeah.
things with the names on them, it's like I'm always like,
Well,
where?
thank you, Glenn and
did
Kathy
this-
Gold Whiskey.
Yeah,
We've given
thank
a
you.
lot of use. So anyway, I didn't inflate it.
You didn't.
At all.
You barely
But,
tried.
their bottle would be in here and it would be inflated, and then to get it out, you just undo the process.
This is a whole thing.
That's how you do it. So.
This is not sponsored, I promise.
Not sponsored, but
If it was, that would have been
someone asked.
really, really bad.
Yeah. Oh wow.
What is this for?
A super duper chat. Dinner's ready. From John Wadsworth, saying, "Here's to you guys for bringing great content, pics, and meetups. Thanks for all the hard work and dedication. Are you guys planning any Scotch prep for Scotland?" Well, first of all, thank you, John.
Yeah.
The Master Wrangler. You've changed your picture, but you're still the Master Wrangler.
That was so nice of you to say all that
yeah,
stuff.
that's great.
Aw,
Thank you so
that's
much.
Nice. We haven't gotten that far yet, but yes, I would like
Mm-hmm.
to. In April, I would really like to. Maybe we use our live shows. I don't know.
I mean, it's bourbon night, so we don't want to.
Not every single one, Chad. At least one.
Yeah, maybe one. Yeah.
That's all he'll give me. I don't know if I
I'm
want
just
to
thinking
do.
of you guys, the people who
Yeah.
tune into a channel called It's Bourbon Night, because
I'm kind of interested in
They wanna see
doing
bourbon.
potentially doing at least a live show, but maybe a produced episode in either or, because we're going to get a lot of content from Scotland, and we're just going to be throwing people who watch our channel in the deep end when it's like all of a sudden here we are in Scotland, here's our trip. Like, I know we've been talking about it, but maybe we need a warm up into
Well,
like, if this is how it's going in a controlled
yeah.
environment on our set, how's it going to
Yeah.
go? You know.
not to get in the weeds, this would be an offline conversation.
Well, should
but-
we read the rest of the super chats first, or?
Yeah, but we have a different live viewer than we do produced episodes viewer.
This
There
is
is
true.
of course, crossover, but there's some people who don't go to lives because they don't have the time investment, who only watch the produced.
Totally
There's
fine.
some who do both. There's probably some who just do lives.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about, but yes, to answer your question, John.
Yes,
will.
John. I will make him.
Next super chat is from James Wolverton.
James, who says, what bottle do you most regret not buying? Oh, I already know what it is. He's going to say the Booker's Rye, and it's all my fault.
Ding, 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 ding. Tell her what
I
she
think-
hasn't won.
I think we literally were telling this story the other day to somebody. Who was we telling this to?
I think it was on live.
I must have been on live last week, yeah.
I regret that. I regret...
I regret that most because I know it's my fault.
I don't regret letting a Heaven Hill 17 out of my... passing it on because I know where it went, and it went to a very good home, so I don't regret it. But thinking back now, knowing how much, how
much we loved it?
Yeah. I
Like-
might have...
Tried to find a way to get another one?
No, I might have kept it instead.
Oh, you would not. I mean, you would think about it.
It was over retail, but not crazy. It was a pretty good price. But I don't regret that. Like I said, it went to a very good home. It's that Booker's Rye.
I know it is. For anyone who missed the story, he had the opportunity to buy one for like $350 in 2017, and we had just started dating. And he was like, do you think I should buy this? And we were very young into the channel, didn't have a lot of funds. And I was like, that's crazy. I wouldn't do it, but do what you want with your money. So I basically didn't tell him he shouldn't, but I kind of talked him out of it.
She talked me into not getting it.
I talked him into not getting it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you're right. That's a lot of money. And he didn't get it. And now they're going for, thousands of dollars.
Plus, it's delicious. But luckily,
it is delicious.
We have one in our
We
collection
do.
now, thanks to, an angel.
We'll leave it at
How
that.
do I talk to an angel?
Through Patreon.
Through Patreon, yeah. Tesla 420, love the name, is your 2020 Bourbon of the Year.
2022 Bourbon of the Year
score
score
sheet.
sheet somewhere online or on Patreon to see. Oh, that's
I was
a good
reading that in my
question.
mind as scorch sheet. I was like, what's a scorch sheet?
Didn't post that just because for us it's more of like internal use only.
Internal use only?
It's not like there's anything to hide. It's just like not super clean.
The best thing is if Tesla, if you haven't watched our analysis video we put out a couple weeks ago of the 2022 Best of the Year analysis, that's where we don't go line by line, but we tell you what was on the bubble, like surprises, ones that came in last, ones that we thought would have done better, like all that stuff. So you pretty much get a picture of everything.
Yeah.
By the.
I mean, I guess
by
there's
the
no
end of
reason
it.
why we could release it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of past.
It's not inflammatory or
Maybe
whatever.
we could do that for next year.
That's not the right word. It doesn't cause inflammation.
I got nothing to hide.
It's not.
I don't know. It's not top secret. I think you need to.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Michelle Martin says, we spend.
She must. Oh, they opened their 3-quart hybrid barrel theory, and wow, is it delicious! We've not had a bad pick from you guys yet. Cheers and thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Michelle.
I like that double barrel that they got. I'm just doing another triangle now because we're reading all these super.
That was
chats.
also for Tesla 420 and for James
Yes.
Wilkerson.
I did one at the top. I'm doing a mid one.
Yes.
Just triangles.
Well, that's great. That's great, Michelle.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear
got
that.
Got ours right here. This is hybrid barrel theory, 3-chord. Yeah, it's really good. Really happy with that one.
We got 2 more.
Yep, Tiffany.
Tiffany, who says small Chad update.
This is Lil Chad.
This is Lil Chad.
This is small Sarah.
And this is, slightly larger Sarah, also known as small Sarah. And we don't have them in the same format. So Tiffany is being kind enough to get us small Chad. And so this is our small Chad update, which you're so kind to provide. She received small Chad number 1. Oh, and was not happy with him. Oh no. So they've restarted a new small Chad. I will keep you updated.
I want to see what this Chad looks like.
I kind of want to see it too.
He's like, hey everybody.
Wow, Tiffany with the quality control.
I'm small Chad. Hey.
First of all, thank you so much
That's
for
what he would sound
getting
like.
us a small Chad in the first place. For getting us a little Sarah in the first place.
I mean, come on.
But hopefully you don't have to I hope you didn't have to like pay.
Hopefully,
too
you
much
know,
for
they
that.
have
Let us know.
a quality guarantee or whatever.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But let us know if
Yeah, for
not.
sure.
I mean, you don't have to do all that. That's a lot. And that's very nice of you.
Very cool. Next super chat's from Derek. He said, I have not seen you kids live in a long time. I miss you too. Well, we miss you too, Derek.
It's so good to see your face.
Please don't be offended by kids. Nice to see you too.
Oh, not offended.
No, not at all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice to see you in your profile picture.
I know, that's, I think that's new, right?
We will do one more.
Cheers.
To all those super chats. That was a lot. So we're going on.
WTF indeed. Just saying, leave a like if you like, because we would like. Thank you much. Scott wants to have reject Chad. I mean, sure.
We should I don't know, maybe they have to return him or something. I don't know. But reject Chad gets like
no, we have to receive him back and then destroy him. We have to melt him down like at the end of T2.
I want to make him
go into the lava and I just do a thumbs up as I
want to make him like emo Chad or something. We'll put black eyeliner on him.
Well, maybe that's what he already is.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd be interested to see it. But, she said she sent a photo, so it's probably in our email. I'll have to check it out. Wait, I don't want to look at it right now.
Go ahead and look at it. I'll put up the next question here from comments. This is hard to read. What does it say? It says, is there a recommended online shopping website for bourbon whiskey that can ship internationally to Taiwan? I live in Taipei, Taiwan. So...
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at your question.
Whoa. You should show.
Can they see?
Yeah, if we... Hold on, let me zoom in.
It's not gonna, because you can't... There we go.
Yeah.
I hope it's okay that we showed it, Tiffany. It's too late now. We've already done it. It doesn't look like you in the eyes, I think. It's the eyes and then... Mm-hmm. Also, it's interesting how they changed the texture between your mustache and your beard.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's for reference, here I am again.
He's not a bad-looking Chad. He just doesn't look like you.
They normally aren't.
I think it's the eyes or his eyebrows.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have any... It was more like I was doing a chin strap thing, or like I was a...
Neil said that ain't right.
a Mennonite or something, like a Quaker.
Thank you for sharing this, Tiffany. This brought me a lot of joy.
I don't know who that is, but he's nightmare fuel now.
Also,
it looks like Jason C. No, it doesn't, Mark. I mean, maybe more like Jason.
Like him than it looks like. I don't know. Interesting.
Than me. Back to the question. This was one that I wanted to bring up to ask you all. Because, you know, we've never had to ship anything or have anything delivered international, not in the U.S. anyway. So if anyone here is in the chat that knows of a website, please let us know and we will try to catch it.
Okay, cool.
So that's what that was about. That's terrible. Yeah.
Well, I don't want, like, Tiffany, just know that, again, we really appreciate you putting in all the work to get us a little Chad, a small Chad that looks like Chad, actually. And that was a joy to look at, but in no way are we like, boo, why would you send us this?
Go. Wait, it hasn't shown up on this one yet.
Hold on. Kind of.
Looks like Derek Jeter. I think it's
the eyes or something.
That's Derek Jeter's
eyes or eyebrows or something. Interesting. It was fun to see. I'm glad you shared this process with us. I'm enjoying it.
Wow.
We appreciate you, and in no way are we making fun.
It's the Just for Men version, Chad. By men.
Okay, she says she knows. Okay. I'm not trying to hate.
Sean saying, call me crazy, but I've discovered that drinking bourbon in the shower makes the smell and taste much more pronounced.
He's upgraded from shower beers.
Well, first of all, good on you for upgrading.
I don't know. On vacation, a shower beer? It's
I'm not
different.
Discounting the validity of a shower beer, Sarah.
Okay, you're just saying.
Beers for quitters. Drink whiskey.
That's one attitude to have.
I've never had a shower whiskey. Have you?
I've had a shower cocktail.
Okay.
But not a shower whiskey. I've had a getting ready whiskey. I do like a getting ready whiskey on a girl's trip. When you're doing your makeup, you have your getting ready whiskey, but not a shower. I agree that
I can't
something
relate.
about the shower and the steam and the.
Well, I wonder
alcohol.
what about a steam room?
Do you think it makes
whiskey?
That
That just?
sounds like a
I mean,
lot.
that's probably condensating, and adding a little tiny bits of water to your whiskey.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're in there for a while, I would say you're like, why's the proof going down?
I'm no scientist.
They say you shouldn't really drink in hot tubs because your body I don't know.
Who follows that?
Nobody.
Don't.
But I can't
tend
say
to find myself in a hot
I
tub.
have drank whiskey in hot tubs, and I can't really. Well, I didn't have my.
Are you sure you want to tell this story? What is this story? I'm not familiar with this story.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't have like my tasting hat on, so I wasn't like, oh, and then I was just.
You were just enjoying it.
Enjoying.
You're allowed
drinking.
to do that.
I know. What I'm saying is, so I don't know if I would say it was like improved or whatever.
Maybe we need to do an episode on this.
Oh boy, I'm sure some people would like to see that. Hey, remember the suction cup?
I do remember that.
It was on one of our.
Yes, the sip caddy.
The sip caddy.
It was I think our very first or second.
And we've done 7 of them.
guide.
Gift guides, yeah.
Yes, and I remember it because we didn't get the. It has like a suction cup that sticks to the shower wall so that you can put it's a drink holder. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's intended for wine, but you can use it for Glencairn glasses and whiskey glasses and stuff. And so we were shooting the B-roll for it, so someone had to be in the shower. Don't go looking for this episode. It's just like a hand.
It's a hand.
It's just a close-up on a hand. Don't get excited.
Very innocent.
Anyways, we didn't you're supposed to wet it first and then stick it so that it actually holds the suction. And we didn't do that. So I put the glass in it and it fell to the floor and shattered all over the shower floor where I'm standing with my bare feet. And I was like, this is great.
We didn't keep that part in the episode.
No, of course not.
We edited it right before it fell.
It was user error. Anyways, that's a story you guys don't really need to...
Too hot in the hot tub. Ow! If you guys know that.
You guys don't need that story, do you?
SNL sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Sketch. I swear I'm not drinking.
It's Coke, I can assure you.
Shoof.
All right, let's do another question.
Well, I saw one here. I'm curious, hash browns or home fries? I'm probably hash browns. Where are you, Sarah?
Okay. I know if you
don't ask me to define home fries.
Okay, I was gonna say I kind of need to see a picture because I know what it is, but in my mind right now I can't come up with what the difference is. Like for some reason, all I'm picturing is tater tots, and I know it's not tater tots. Oh, that's just that makes sense. I don't really care. I'm pro potato.
She is pro potato.
I like potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I like
potatoes.
I mean,
and Tuttles.
I guess I kind of like hash browns a little bit better if they're crispier, but home fries get crispy too, so that doesn't really... care more about fries. Fries. And they all have to be crispy. If they're not crispy, take them back. I don't want them. I mean, I would never send food back, but...
You know us bourbon drinkers, we're all taters.
Tater tots. Yeah. Home fries half steak fries. I'm not a big fan of big steak fries at restaurants. I'm like, if I wanted a baked potato, I would... I mean, I know it's not...
What's a place?
I don't want to start a potato war on here.
Potato war. Do you guys have Wing Zone where you are?
Oh, no.
They would have the big...
This isn't... It's potato night, though.
Most of the time it is, Sarah, let's be honest. Those big...
Wedge fries.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now on to a question that's...
Not
potato related.
Oh, well, see if we have one. How much of Michter's bottling are sourced bourbon or rye? Their US 1 bourbon still only says it was bottled by them, no word on who actually distilled it. So I meant to find one of our bottles of US 1 and look on the back, but I didn't. Mm. They started putting their own distillate, laying it down into barrels in August of 2015, which would mean this year would be their 8th year. So definitely not in their 10-year bourbon or rye.
Right. Which, you know what? I don't think I had realized that before.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, because they have such a unique taste profile.
Well, there's actually a really good Bourbon Pursuit podcast. It's way back in 2017. I actually listened to it to know how to pronounce Joseph J. Malioko's name, because it's not as it...
For Friday's episode.
As you would think. and I was listening to that, and he was talking about how they, when they were or / are contract distilling, first of all, it was an NDA. It was from a Kentucky distillery who, because of their profile, their size, didn't want anyone to know that they were making stuff for someone else. But it was, they contract distilled for them, which basically means Michter said, here's our recipe of how we want our bourbon to taste.
You make it.
And he made a really good analogy. He said, I think he was sort of talking about how some people say, oh, source whiskey, no thanks. He would say, you wouldn't say that about, or maybe I'm adding this part, but he basically said, you wouldn't say that about a chef.
Right, that's what I was just thinking.
Who goes and cooks in someone else's kitchen. Be like, oh, you didn't cook that in your own kitchen? I don't want this meal. It's like, no, the chef
or even like, if someone else prepared your recipe, like it's you know, your grandma's recipe of cake or whatever, and if I make it usually, and then you make it one time, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not legitimate because you made the cake. Yeah. But like, I should normally make the cake. I don't know.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
I mean, it's a little more complicated than that.
You're using someone else's kitchen, but they're using your recipe. So they said that's how it's going to be, you know, as seamless as it can be, going from someone else's kitchen to their kitchen. It's the same recipe. So to answer your question, though, I don't know if it's all their distillate and US 1 things. They are on non-age stated. It might be a combination, or it might still be completely other people's stuff. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know.
I don't know either. We have a couple of questions in the chat that we could talk about. Let's see. I'm interested in the question from Joey that's up a little bit more.
The Joey special?
Let me pull it
2 pizzas?
Up a little bit more. There at the top.
This one?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
It says, do you think you all would do a video on bars to visit in Louisville? I will be there in 5 days. We've talked about this. We want to do more content like that. It's just, it's a lot of fun to make.
We like it. You all like it.
We love making it. It's just, it's being out in on the streets. You know, it's a lot more. It's more travel, and it's a little bit more heavy lifting in terms of filming. But it's a lot of fun to make. We love making those episodes. It's just a matter of like when to fit it into the schedule. We won't have one done in time for your trip in 5 days. But bars to visit, if you want to check out our Louisville hunting video, I don't know if you've already seen it from 2 weeks ago.
Go to those.
There were some liquor stores that also have bars in them, or distilleries that also have bars in them, that we would highly recommend. Michter's is one of my, speaking of.
If you were looking for cocktails, yes.
If you want a good cocktail.
Only problem about the distilleries is they're only going to serve their whiskey.
But I love their cocktails. If you want a good cocktail, definitely make a reservation there. You do have to make a reservation in advance. We went once, we're just trying to like pop in and get a drink to kill some time, and they were like, we can get you in 2 hours. And I was like, because this is a small bar.
It's a small bar.
I was like,
and it's very popular
too.
Yeah.
Old Forester, same thing. Like if there's anything from them that you want to try, same thing at Evan Williams. They have a lot of the limited Heaven Hill stuff. If there's anything you want to try, go to those.
But if you're looking for a place that brings all those into it, ones that we didn't cover would be Neat
Bourbon Bar.
Freaking
I don't know.
Huge place where you have to be a member.
Oh, Watch Hill Proper.
Watch Hill Proper.
Which is a bit off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit of a drive, but they have a huge selection.
But it is members only unless you're with a member.
I don't think that's true. I think
it is, though.
No, I don't think so.
I think you can sit in that front bar if you're not a member. I
think you can order off their menu. We don't know.
Yeah. I would call.
Or visit their website.
Yeah,
there's also, if you don't mind taking a beautiful, about 30-minute scenic drive outside of Louisville, there's Barn 8, and they have a great bar.
Yep.
And some good food.
Oh, Justin's, which is now open again.
They have a tasting bar. And then, as you saw in the video, Evergreen Liquors, Frankfurt Avenue Liquors, Taste Wine and Spirits, all have great selections, great tasting bars. Yeah. They're all pretty small. I mean, intimate, small bars, but.
Oh, and the one you still haven't been to
the Silver Dollar is a good place to go.
That was the one I was thinking. Bourbon Bistro.
Bourbon's Bistro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, we've listed a lot of things, but.
Yeah.
Yes. Those are the ones that come to mind.
Yeah. Let's see. Scanning.
There was another question from Kevin Weber asking about Evansville, Indiana, but I gotta say I'm not super familiar with the area, so I wouldn't know where to recommend. But if anybody else is familiar and has spots to recommend, then throw them in the chat, please.
Mm-hmm. Jose reminded people to join the Nutty Squad at our Patreon. That's where all of our barrel picks go through. So thank you, Jose.
Thanks, Jose.
Nutty Squad team leader.
Yes. We've got a Starlight pick coming out in the next few weeks, likely.
This is
anticipated, and then we're still waiting on our Russells and Kentucky Spirit picks to come in. Those were chosen last May, so it's been
should be pretty soon.
9 months. So
yeah. Hello, quick question
soon.
for you: Old William Tar, 7-year, 114 proof, or Still Austin cast strength? Two different animals.
Totally, yeah.
The Tar is a Boo Rye. It's a bourbon and a rye. It's an 8-year rye and a 7-year bourbon mixed together. So it's a whiskey because of that, but unique flavor there because of that. 114 proof, excellent. Still Austin, I think it's around 118 proof in that area.
I think, I don't remember.
More of a Texas profile, but I think Still Austin fits in a lot better if we're also drinking Kentucky stuff. They're not like, there can be a Texas profile and they're not super Texas profile.
Agreed.
I feel like they can fit
in
a lot of cliques at school. Right?
Sure.
Between those two, I don't know. That's a tough call. I think it's more if you want maybe a little bit more of a rye flavor, then I would go with that Tar.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
That's tough.
It is tough. I don't know which way to lean on that one.
Yeah.
I think it would depend on my mood. I like today I might lean slightly more Still Austin. The cast strength. It's just yummy.
Yeah.
I really like.
Yes.
And I mean both of their teams are, it's hard to, they're so hospitable, but
yeah.
Yeah.
True. Tiffany's saying William Tar is underrated. Amazing. Still Austin is fantastic, says Neil.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right, let's go back to our...
More questions? Okay.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is off our A123 short and sweet episode. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is the standard. It's your favorite local steakhouse, not the place you go for a super significant occasion, not somewhere you would travel to just to dine there, but always great. Call it an $80 bottle. Is there anything better or at or below that price? So I think that was more of a facetious...
I don't think so.
But it could also be a question. So we're going to talk.
I think it's just like saying, it's a reliable, like...
Is there anything better at or below that price?
Right. It's your favorite local neighborhood spot, like, or whatever. Or it's just, like, really good and dependable. And, like, yeah, I get it.
I think you would have to ask, is this 5 years ago when things were more available? Is Stag Junior an option? Or
well, no, because we live
now?
right now, but...
So, even though technically that is below $80
but it's
retail... It's not really.
Well, I mean, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof isn't super available either, but it's way more likely that you're going to find one of those than you're going to find a Stag Junior.
I found one today.
I mean, I think, like, for me, the things that come close for less Rare Breed comes to mind, because it's a great pour at a great proof at a great price. I think that's kind of an old... I like if you can find a good Knob Creek barrel pick, right? Sometimes they come in,
that's good.
Roughly 9 years now. They were older.
A pick, yeah.
They were, we got one that was like almost 15 years, but roughly 9 years now
the 15 years are gone.
Again, roughly $50-ish, 55. I don't know it anymore.
Yeah.
Some people are saying Maker's Private Selects. I agree. Again, like...
That's going to be tough because you're dealing with usually around 125 to 130 proof versus like 110 to 112.
Well, some Elijah Craig barrel proofs have been 118,
That's true.
So
but,
it can fluctuate, but if you're wanting to keep toe-to-toe on proof, the Makers would present more of a challenge, but I still think it's a great higher proof barrel pick option. I don't know. I mean,
it is tough. It is tough to beat.
the last time I had
contenders.
some of the Bell Mead cast strength stuff,
Ooh.
I was really into that, you know?
Yeah, but that's probably more of that MGP
exactly.
stuff.
Right.
That, isn't really
around much anymore. I mean, I'm talking several years ago.
Yeah. Again, if we're talking
today,
5 years ago,
it would be a
there's
different
more
answers.
things, but today. I don't know what's going on between Joseph and Todd, but I saw something about the green M&M being sexy. So just wanted to throw that out there.
I can't. I don't.
Yeah, something about go-go boots. And,
I do like her white boots. I actually have some boots like that. Maybe I should be the green M&M for Halloween.
Maybe.
I'm always looking for ideas. I need to jot these down.
Jot them down.
I will. I like things when they're like pop culture relevant.
Yeah.
It's always more fun.
See, Derek's saying Elijah Craig Barrel Proof not readily available, and it does fluctuate
I'm writing it down.
based on your area. Like I said, I saw one today sitting on the shelf, but that doesn't always happen here in Kentucky. So, readily available? No. More available than Stag Junior or Stag? Yeah, for sure. I would say not just in Kentucky, but majority of places. Nick with the super chat.
Nick,
saying
thank you.
Cheapest money and most money.
Oh, cheapest bottle and most expensive bottle in your collection.
No.
I mean, the cheapest bottle is probably something under $10 that we got when we were doing the 64 or 50 under 25. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's something in here that's like $7.99.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm that type of collector. If I see a bottle, if I'm out of state and I see a label that's not sold here, and it's like some 2-year-old 80 proof for $8.99, I get it to put it in the collection because.
And then I yell at him for bringing home bottles that we don't need.
I want to have from
I don't yell.
here, $8.99 to here, which is. I can dream, but most expensive, I don't know. It's not expensive as into what the secondary value would be now, or that we've spent, because that would be
Answer
different.
it both ways. I think most expensive as to what we've spent would probably be that 80s Old Granddad 114.
Correct. 1989 Old Granddad 114.
Most we spent.
But that also involved trade.
Yes, that involves some trade. So
Yeah.
we didn't spend it outright. We traded to get that bottle for an episode.
But the value
we
was
don't go around spending that much money all the time.
No.
What was...
I can't remember. 1800 or somewhere around there.
That's a lot, which is a
2000.
ton.
But we traded.
But again, we traded things.
Some bottles that we had around for a while that were like we don't really
duplicates.
This would give us more value going towards this 89 OGD.
Just to be
so
clear,
that's what
we do not buy bottles a lot for trade and hang on to them for that purpose. We don't have stocks of lots of things that we keep for trade.
We don't
the
have
majority
room for it.
of the stuff behind us, I think everything on this shelf behind us is opened or has been opened. Majority.
Yeah. That we've spent.
That's what we've spent. Most expensive that
right.
Like
it's
if
valued at
that could go on the
unopened,
secondary.
and it would have to be unopened.
Yes, correct.
It's probably some vintage bottles that we've bought.
Yeah, I'm looking over there. I'm like, we've got some really early Booker's bottles.
That's true.
We have, let's see. Oh, we have a Blanton Silver that we got for our engagement.
That we're saving for our silver anniversary. Yeah, I know.
Like,
totally.
What a gift.
I'm
still speechless.
Well, it would have probably been the Pappy 23, but we opened that. All of our Pappies we've opened.
That's true.
All of our BTACs we've opened.
Well,
that's not completely true. We do have a couple BTACs that we're saving for when we hit that 100,000 subscribers.
Which, you guys, we just hit 97 this weekend.
Yeah. Almost 97.1 now.
I mean, the numbers aren't everything. I'm having a great time, and I hope you guys are too. But man, I never, it's just wild. Every time we cross a milestone, I'm like, I never thought in a million years that would be a possibility. And
true.
To be that close, it's just wild. So it could be a couple more months before we hit that. I would expect that to be at least 2 or 3 more months, but
probably around May.
Around May, so we'll be in Scotland drinking scotch, being like, cheers to 100,000 Bourbon Night subscribers.
Yeah.
You guys are wild with this conversation in the chat. I don't know what to do with you.
A lot of green M&M talk tonight.
That's a lot.
A little bit more than usual. Let's just go to another question.
Okay, yeah. Let's not get into the candy debate.
we're on
I think we have better things to talk about.
Really enjoyed this video. Oh, that's our bourbon hunting in Louisville here recently. I like seeing what's out there. Just curious, what day and time was this shot? Surprised to see it so empty. So this is one that a few people asked, so I thought we would just tell you real quickly, tell it to the masses instead of just responding to every comment. It was a Thursday in the morning and afternoon.
Yep, we got there. The store opened at 10, and we were there at 10 because we had a lineup of... I'm very type A, so when I know we're doing something, I'm like, all right, where's the best place to start, and then what's the map look like to make the most of, like, driving time and where we can park and hit the most stores, and, like, that's what I do. That's just how my brain works.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it, I won't be able to sleep at night. So
I think 11, actually, technically, we hit 12, but there was one that we walked into, and it was a very small selection. There wasn't even a reason to include it.
Yeah.
So technically, we hit 12. So 12 in a day.
That's a lot.
That's pretty good. We could have gone longer, but we had a dog at home that needed to be let out, so we had to drive home because we spent like 3 hours on the road. So
yeah, it was a long day, but it was a great day. Yeah. We love those days. We have a ton of fun doing that. We're trying to shoot more of that stuff. I think, don't hold us to it, but I mean, we've got a couple trips coming up, but we might be doing in the near future Bardstown or like Nashville or surrounding area. I don't know when those will come out, but those are kind of like on the list. And then we're going to New Orleans for the New Orleans Bourbon Festival, and if we have time while we're down there, we'd love to do something like that. But this question kind of lends itself to another question that was asked.
What's that?
That was about when we go into a store like that, how do we decide?
Oh, I think that's still on here.
Oh, well then, shall we? While we're talking about it?
It might be the next one. Nope. Oh no, this is it. This is a new question, but not the question you were talking about. So we'll just get to it. Love the hunting videos. Are there places good for finding the rare bottles priced reasonably over MSRP? Planning a trip? Not really. I mean, I would say case by case basis. So in one store, they might have Weller Full Proof for $1,500. But in that same store, they might have, what would be a good example here? Something that's harder to find, but might not be super, it's basically, it's a popularity contest, is what I'm trying to say. So you're like Weller Full Proof or
anything
Single
from
Barrel.
Buffalo Trace.
BTAC. But, what?
I'm just going to let you go on this one.
I'm going to say... Hancock's President's Reserve, which is from Buffalo Trace, part of their single barrel. It's the lowest proof, and I think it's the least popular of the four. Rock Hill Farms, Blanton's, Hancock's, and Elmer T. Lee. You might see that for only 40 to 50. This is made up above retail because it's still rare. It's still Buffalo Trace. It's still popular, but it's not as popular. So I guess it kind of is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Can you say so?
I think so. I mean, people ask us a lot. They'll be like, I'm coming to Kentucky. Where are those off the beaten path mom and pop shops that, where I can find some good Dusties or find some like good limited bottles? And that was probably a thing like 10 years ago. 5 years ago, I don't even think really anymore. It just doesn't exist anymore. I think it's a combination of, the rise in popularity in general, but also the rise in flipping. People know where to look for that kind of stuff now. And then you have also more businesses that are based on having access to these bottles. So like you'll hear about buyers from other states for bars and restaurants that have vintage spirits licenses where they can collect up, old bottles and then sell them. So like those people plan buying trips, right, to come and hit all those little stores. So a lot of those got cleaned out years ago. I mean, The stuff that people are looking for that they think might be somewhere on a back shelf hidden, marked low because those, the old couple who owns the shop doesn't know what they have. Yeah. That's a kind of a myth now anymore. Like maybe something like that existed at one point. So there really isn't. It's more about researching shops in the area that you're going to be in and finding out which stores have the best reputation for barrel picks. That's going to be your best bet for finding like decent, I don't know, unusual bottles.
I agree. I like this question here from Dunny. It says, what barrel pick haven't you done but is a wish list distillery?
We
haven't
Buffalo
done
Trace is a given.
Buffalo Trace, not for an IBN pick anyway.
They do have their single barrel program. They're doing a different way of the releases starting this year, so we'll see if we happen to get lucky. It's a lottery, basically.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to knock you over there.
We haven't done an Old Forester yet.
I'd like to do an Old Forester.
We got lots of comments about that Jefferson's bottle on the video. People saying, yeah, do a Jefferson's pick. So
I would really like to do some things maybe farther out west. Like, if we could get into... I want to go, though. I want to capture the experience there. I don't want to just be shipped samples and then choose. So, like, Old Elk, I'm not sure if High West has a single barrel program. I'm sure that they probably do, and I'm just misremembering.
They do.
Or, like, some Colorado distilleries. I think Breckenridge is one to consider. Some calls for Woodinville and Wyoming, a Still Austin pick. I would love to do all of those, If we could make it, again, I'm all about efficiency, so I would like to plan, like, if we could do a week-long trip, maybe out west, where we are able to, I don't know, do a road trip and hit some barrel picks and then stop at liquor stores along the way and do a hunt and then make a video out of it.
Yeah.
It really helps us justify... Obviously, we want to bring you guys the content, but it helps us get the most out of the time and money going into that. We want to be responsible.
Agreed.
I like being responsible.
Just reading some of the comments here. Got a super chat from Kevin Weber. Put it up here on screen. It says, what is the yearly release that you each look forward to?
That's a good question.
Since 2021... when the Four Roses LE small batch won blind bourbon of the year for us, I've been looking forward more so to that release. And I also kind of have, maybe it's a sentimental spot for that because that was one of the first LEs that we ever got. I think it was the second. The first one was an Old Forester birthday bourbon, but it was the second. It was 2015 and we got it. And then so it became like every year we tried to get one, and then it started to get harder and harder. And then there was a couple years where we just had given up and thought we weren't going to get one, and then by whatever means we were graced with one. So that
or the opportunity to get
or
one,
the the opportunity to get one. So that's one that I think I look forward to now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything that's maybe not major release that I look forward to.
Is there?
Oh, of course you ask me because I can't, I do well with things in front of my faces. I kind of have, what's it called, object permanence issues. If I can't see it, then I forget that it exists. So I'm, looking around. I'm like, what do I like?
We have done a Woodinville, actually.
Oh, I'll tell you what I get excited about. William Heaven Hill.
Oh, sure.
I mean, obviously, it's not a small distillery.
Let me think of a small distillery. Heaven Hill. Only the biggest family-owned distillery in the United States.
I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah. I do get excited about those, and I really like the Parker's releases. Because I feel like, not to discount any of the other releases, but those two, I think, maybe they don't come to top of mind when people think about hunting, but I don't know. But I also like to see new things too. I was really excited to see the Bardstown collection be released last year, even though I wish it was more accessible and affordable, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hopefully they're still doing that. I mean, they did that in January of 2022.
I wonder if they're going to do that again.
They said it was going to be an annual thing. There's going to be even more distilleries in Bardstown involved.
But I haven't heard anything about it.
I haven't heard a peep. Matt saying, I should have just beat Cameron without the samples.
FedEx, man.
Wow.
Freaking FedEx.
Throwing down that gauntlet. We're going to bring that up in 2 weeks.
Were you here earlier in the episode where Chad tried to blow up the inflatable bottle protector? Because I feel like that needs to be
hand in it?
A clip somewhere.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling him.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Anything for you.
That's fantastic. Looking. Lots of good questions.
I want to answer them all.
I know.
Wait, I'm trying to think of my releases still. While I look around me. What do I like, you guys? Tell me.
Well, you're a Heaven Hill girl.
I am Heaven Hill girly.
I think
help it. Blind, that's just what I pick. I think it's because I'm so familiar with it.
We gotta get you to taste an Evan Williams.
Somebody really doesn't like
year.
this episode. Okay, I will do it.
Who,
I will
what?
be too oaky. We've just got a lot of thumbs downs on this episode. I'm wondering if it's all the candy talk.
Could be the candy talk.
I think it might be the candy talk. Y'all struck a nerve.
Let's
definitely doesn't have anything to do with me.
Let's combat that with some of these, please. If and you like. Don't want anyone to do anything they don't want to do.
What do I like?
So Matthew is asking, without knowing the year, would you pick E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof or Blanton Straight from the Barrel? Thank you for answering my last question. Y'all are truly the best.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Brrr. I think typically
Instinct
E.H. Taylor
was E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
Although I like Blanton Straight from the Barrel, but my
Yes.
instinct was E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
Barrel Proof.
Correct.
I'd have to...
Hey, Dunny just got his first Four Roses LE 2022 at retail.
See?
Love to hear that.
It does. Miracles do happen.
It does happen. It does happen.
That just reminded me of circling back to M&M's, the Christmas commercial where Santa's
They
like,
do exist.
He does exist.
That was made in like 1985, by the way. They still use it.
I love the Hershey's Kiss one with the jingle. I know it's not. This is a totally inappropriate as far as time relevancy discussion,
Miss
but
Tangent
I think
here.
that was 1989 because it was. I always remember because it was the year I was born, and
you remember seeing it in 1989.
Well, as an advertising person, I've always admired how they were able to create something that has stood the test of time. It's so simple, like,
and upscale it into
think
HD.
about how much they paid somebody to come up with that concept. That probably cost like not that much to make, and they think about how much they've gotten out of that. This is unimportant, and you guys don't care about this, but this is what gets me excited.
Back to the questions. This is also from our Louisville hunting video. Great video. Love to see the different places to go and best places to get a good pour. Just wondering why you skipped Angel's Envy when you were there on Main Street. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Can I?
Yes, please.
One, I think just a lack of time. You know, we couldn't hit everything. I think we missed, if we had gone even off Main Street just a little bit, we could have also hit Rabbit Hole.
Right.
And I know Copper and Kings, you know, they mostly do brandy and stuff, but there's other places that we could have hit. Mm-hmm. It's just a time issue. We cut it close. I mean, we got back at like 6 o'clock.
No, 7.
7 o'clock at home. So it was a long day. Yeah. So there's a time issue. And the reason why it wasn't prioritized, I think, is because to our understanding, it was like they just offer their main expressions. And so for us, there wasn't like a really compelling reason to check out the gift shop to see what. I mean, we like their rye, we like their cast strength. Their regular on the shelf everyday bottle it's not really for us.
Doesn't really do it for us. We like the Cellar Collection.
Yeah, the Cellar Collection stuff. We have a few of those bottles, but
so it's sort of like just sort of weighing what could potentially
be there.
I mean, if we're being honest, Old Forester was even a bit of a not smart time move.
It's true, but we were right there.
The fact that, you know, they could have had a President's Choice was very small, or like
they don't really, the likelihood of them having something was very low, but we were right there. So whereas Angel's Envy is like a little bit farther down the strip. Mm-hmm. So that's why. And it's just nothing personal. I mean, yeah, we'll go there sometime. Maybe next time. Maybe we'll do a part 2.
Good night, Tony.
Good night.
Greg here with Super Chat.
Oh, we also have a couple of other questions. Oh, he's just got the pair with the thumbs up, and he's kind of like bopping along. So thanks.
Oh, true. Well, thank you.
Did you say Greg?
I said Gerald.
I think you said Greg.
Gerald, I did.
Gerald. And we can't wait.
I saw the G's, I saw gigs, and I was just like...
Speaking of Gerald, we'll see him in Scotland, so... let's see what else. Oh, we had a few questions about the New Orleans Bourbon Festival and what that is.
Oh, okay.
So it is happening again this year, March 22nd through the 25th, I believe. If you had tickets from previous years, I believe that you can still redeem them. They were like one of the very first events to be canceled due to COVID, and it caused like a whole bunch of confusion and that was in 2020, and so people would still have tickets from then to refund. But it's 2 days, Friday and Saturday are seminars all day, which we will be hosting at least one, which is fun. And then tastings, grand tastings at night, where I think they usually have like 80 different.
It's a lot.
Bottles or distilleries or expressions. It's a lot. You can drink a lot. You gotta be careful.
Yes. Both
nights, and then sometimes on Thursday night they have distiller-led dinners that are paired, and those are fun. But we haven't heard about those this year.
I gotta put this up here. Sorry. Bourbon Bowl. those, and why?
Who's and why?
He later corrected.
Oh.
Try this again. Who's winning the Bourbon Bowl and why? Damn autocorrect. Well, I'm winning because I have the best track record.
And you cheat.
I do not cheat.
It's okay, Tom Brady.
Wow.
And some people, there go more thumbs down. Some people are not going to like that. I said that.
It's Bourbon Gate.
Let me be clear. I don't care. I don't watch football, and I don't care. Please don't yell at me. It's fine. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It was just a pop culture joke.
But no, I'm going to win. Let's
2 more thumbs down. Oops.
Way to go, Sarah.
Sports.
There goes our algorithm. What's your advice? This is again on our Louisville hunting video. What's your advice for hunting multiple stores in a day but not finding anything at a store? Do you just smile and walk out, or do you buy something small anyways? I always feel like I must buy something or it's rude, but lately I've just been leaving empty-handed because it can get expensive when you're hunting a bunch of stores.
This will probably be our last question.
This is more up your ethical alley, Sarah.
So I struggle with this a lot because, like you said, you only have so many dollars to spend, but I feel that a lot. Like the pressure to buy something, but you know what's weird is like when I'm shopping for clothes or anything else, I don't have a problem with browsing. You can go in a store, browse, you don't see something you like, you leave.
That's true.
And you say thank you, goodbye. But I think it's because you don't browse liquor like that. Like, you're not like, oh, I'll just try it on.
You don't take a sip out of bottles? I do.
There's no option to try it on. Like, usually you walk into a liquor store with the intention of purchasing something. In theory.
Most normal people do. Now, us here in the chat and
I mean, there's nothing. It's a store. You browse at other stores. You can leave empty-handed. I'm saying this to you, like, I don't also struggle with this. Sometimes I'll be like, is there, like, anything small? Can you get a Coke? Like, if they have a fridge or something with a bottled water or Coke or whatever.
I will admit, I won't say the store, but there was one store in our Louisville hunting video where we bought something because we had ended up talking with the person for a while, and Sarah was like, wait, we should get something. And I was like, okay, scanning. We can do something with that bottle. And we got it.
Yeah. It's hard, especially when if it's like a big store like Total Wine, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because
they're just a soulless corporation.
Well, it's so big. Like, I may have not interacted with anybody in there. Sorry, Total Wine friends, if you're watching.
And we have
But
some.
I have no problem, like, walking in and walking out empty-handed if they don't have what I'm looking for. But, like, a small mom-and-pop shop, and they talk to you and they take the time to ask you about yourself and stuff, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would rather just be like, please don't look at me, don't make eye contact with me, because then I can leave. I also can't stop at a gas station to use the bathroom and leave without purchasing something because I feel guilt.
Yeah.
I have a guilt complex. It's fine.
Can we just look at the last question? Because I forgot
Look
what
at
it
it.
was.
Oh, yeah.
I also enjoy the whiskey hunting video, but really wish there was more to learn about barrel picks. Hearing you mention ones that you were not interested in, does that mean, sorry, this is small and hard to read. I should have made it bigger. Does that mean even the barrel pick is typically very similar to the non-barrel pick? Not a world I know anything about. So basically, when we went into the store and we looked at their barrel picks.
Can you restate the question for me?
Well, I'm trying to.
Oh,
so
okay.
when we went into a store and we surveyed the barrel picks and we said, yeah, they had some good-looking barrel picks. Nothing that we wanted to pick up, so we didn't get any. He's basically saying,
why'd you make that decision?
Did you do that because the expressions that you were looking at taste similar to a regular on-the-shelf non-store pick? the answer to that is no. But then he's asking, what made those not interest you all? Basically.
It's.
I can take this.
Yeah,
if you
please do. I don't know.
I think what it boils down to is we sort of have to think of what do we already have behind us here, and it's different for us because we are bourbon drinkers, we're bourbon collectors, but we're also people who put out a show about it. So when we go into a store, you're wearing a lot of hats. You have the bourbon drinker who's like, I kind of want to taste
Chad's
that.
literally wearing a hat.
Yeah.
In the store, but.
Then you've got the business person saying, can I do anything content-wise out of this? Would it be a smart... Because we don't have ultimate bourbon budget. We have a bourbon budget just like you guys do. We try to only spend X amount, a month or a year or whatever. So you kind of have to think, is this bottle going to be good for the channel? Are people going to have interest in it? Will they want to see anything on it? Or you just want this because you want to know what it tastes like, etc. So you kind of have to look at it. Anyway, we have to kind of look at it from those different ways. So when we see some pics, we're like, are we going to be able to do anything with that or not? Is our audience going to want to know about that? Or just want to get it because we want to know what it tastes like? I would love it if every place that sold picks had a tasting bar where you could taste it. Because then you could be like, oh, actually, you know what? This is a smaller distillery, but man, this is good. We need to tell people about this. Whereas otherwise, if we got something everywhere, it'd be a big gamble, and we would just have bottles. We already have bottles that are sitting here that have only had a few out of it. So, long answer to that, but I think that's kind of the reason.
And we saw, like, in that episode, Westport Whiskey and Wine, they did the tasting where... you can taste it for $1. If you end up buying it, they waive the $1. Which is great. Which is great. I think that's a good model. We did do that with one. We were debating, and I know it was dry month, and you can yell at us, but it was like the world's tiniest taste for an $80 bottle to decide whether or not to get it. And ultimately, we were like, it's not really our taste profile, so we're going to leave it. So we paid $1 and we left, and it was fine. It saved us, $79. So man, the mods. The comments have been interesting. Thank you for deleting those. Somebody was like, this is the opposite of the normal bot content.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty much the exact opposite. I was like, what is going on? It's probably because I was talking about guilt.
Someone's like, ooh, now you're talking my language.
Interesting. It's like, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But we are at our time. I think that was all of our questions.
We got all the ones that,
we got all the ones that we had prepared.
And we also,
we did some ones from the chat,
which we appreciate.
Yes, thank you guys for adding questions into the chat. Apologies if we didn't get to yours. We wish we could. I think we would be here for quite a bit longer.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's a school night.
And there's
what?
There's TV.
There's TV to watch. Not that you're less important than TV, but
favorite game for game night? Last question.
Ooh, I like Settlers of Catan.
Or Catan, depending on.
I say Catan. You can say Catan.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Potato. It's fine. Yeah. I love it. No one ever wants to play with me.
Because she wins.
Okay. I also really like Rummy Cube.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of... Those are probably my two favorites.
I'm old school. I'll have a good game of Clue.
He likes Clue.
Clue.
I got him the big fancy Clue board for Christmas, but we haven't been able to play it because we don't have enough... We don't have any friends. We
also don't have a table right now.
We don't have a table right now to play.
Most important question, where can you get the best bourbon-centric clothing and apparel on the interwebs? That's whiskeyambitions.com. Thank you for asking, Todd. Whiskeyambitions.com. Check it out.
Check it.
Okay. All right. That'll do it for us.
Yes.
Catan rocks, says Steve.
Thank you.
Steve will play with
for validating me.
Yeah. So, again, next week we will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the Bourbon Bowl. It's Bourbon Bowl 5, folks. It's getting interesting.
For anyone who needs to know, I
think it's 3 to 2.
That's not right. It's 3 to 1. If this is Bourbon Bowl 5, you've won 3
right.
and I've only won 1.
That's correct. That didn't.
So when you win again this year, it's just gonna make it,
We'll have to see. But yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Bourbon Bowl for next Sunday. And then the following Sunday, normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that will be What's in My Glass.
Yes.
Yeah, with Matt and Cameron.
Yeah, can't wait
Drums
for
and
that.
Drams and ADHD Whiskey.
Who is so
Why
kind.
did I reverse those?
He's working on Matt Madness right now, and he was so kind to take time out of his busy schedule to participate in What's in My Glass with us. So
Michelle loves Clue too.
we're
They love
really
Clue.
that's really nice of him.
Yes.
We love him.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, thank
cool.
you. So there's the website.
Well, y'all have a good night. Be good now, you hear? I don't know where that came from.
Okay.
I'm not even drinking.
Southern Sarah just showed up.
Just showed up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Don't make that a thing. Oh my gosh.
we will see you next Sunday. But again at 3 p.m. See you all then.
Bye.
Bye bye.